Welcome to the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by Washington County Hospital and Clinics. We are here in Washington. It's a rainy day after what was a beautiful morning and afternoon, but the rain's starting. We'd like to welcome you into the pregame show, brought to you by the A&C Williams Agency of Farm Bureau Financial Services in Washington. I'm Joel Keller alongside Jack Knowlton. We got the Washington Demons taking on the Oskaloosa Indians. Oskaloosa 10-9 so far. Washington 4-9 after a great doubleheader last night. 2-0 against Keokuk.
Yeah, Joel, we're all braving the drizzle here at Washington, but it was a storm of runs for the Washington Demons against Keokuk. I was really impressed by what I saw in both games, 12-2 and 12-3 wins for Washington. A tougher test from Oskaloosa coming in out of the Little Hawkeye Conference. They've had similar results over the past few seasons, Oskaloosa to Washington. Both teams have kind of struggled to get things going, not too much postseason notoriety. Oskaloosa 10-9 on the year. Haven't had the super big bats, sort of similar to Washington, but Joel, it's been this pitching staff for Oskaloosa that has just been awesome all season long. The Indians, top 10 in a bunch of metrics. They certainly can get it done on the mound. They've racked up 144 strikeouts on the year. That's the 8th best in all of Class 3. 64 teams in that class. That, of course, includes Washington as well. So a big test, I think, for these Demon bats coming up.
Yeah, and they just faced a great pitcher in Bennett Church last night. And, we noted at the top of that broadcast was the Demons were going to have to put some runs up, and that's exactly what they did against them. Got 5 runs in the first inning, and, we all know the rest. The run rule victory in that game. So they'll have to do something similar, I believe, today if they want to get the W tonight. It'd be a statement win if they can pull this one off. Oskaloosa, they had a tough series last night against Indianola, who's one of the best teams in the state. They lost 6-0 and 6-2, so they're looking to get a bounce-back victory and calling on one of their better pitchers to do it. But out there on the mound, Mitchell Zaglowski for the Demons, starting off with a ball.
Yeah, Oskaloosa's lost their last 5 games. In fact, lost a couple to Pella before that and actually played Mount Pleasant as well. Of course, out of the SEC, they played Mount Pleasant and Fairfield among Washington's conference foes this year. But yeah, have been unlucky in their last 5 games and certainly looking for a turnaround. They have a good opportunity to get it here, but Washington, to that point, I think has a real good chance to build on that Keokuk momentum, double their win tally with that series.
1-1, just missing outside for a ball. We saw a lot of pitchers yesterday for the Demons, and after Zaglowski, it's going to be pretty limited in the bullpen. You still have Ty Wright available, but we saw Parsons go and Rugg. Blaze Richardson also pitched in the doubleheader, and Connor Lydon for sure is done. He pitched 5 innings yesterday, so Luke Schiebel could be another option out of the pen, but that's going to be something to keep an eye on if we're able to get all 7 innings in. The 3-1 just high. 2-1 just high, and it'll be 3-1. Maddox Ashman in there for the Indians.
Ashman has some experience with this Washington team, faced them off last year and in 2023 when these two teams played. Got some history for sure in this matchup, even though it's an out-of-conference one.
Well, an inside and high fastball will miss. So Ashman gets the first base runner for the Indians, and Jake North will be up to bat. He's the shortstop for Oskaloosa. What we saw last night was Washington was able to escape a lot of these innings where they allowed a runner or two to get on, and the check over not in time. Ashman back safely.
Yeah, Connor Lydon got off to a very slow start against Keokuk. They had a single and a double in their first 3 at-bats, and Washington, like you said, able to get out of it. Fielding errors are going to be a big factor today. Oskaloosa, obviously, we talked about their pitching staff, but they have a disciplined defense as well, and Washington will have to kind of match that, I think, if they're going to get some base runners on Oskaloosa.
You'll check over again there. We saw that a lot last night. It seems to be a key part of the Demon defensive strategy is to check in on that runner at first a ton. We saw Richardson do it and pretty well.
Yeah, Richardson's got maybe the best arm on this team playing over there at short, and he's got some zip when he steps on the mound on those pickoffs. And
throw down, not in time. It looked like he almost was going to be able to beat the runner, but the throw ended up a little short.
Well, yeah, it was a good effort there by Easton Rugg at catcher. He picked off a runner in that Keokuk series. It was a good throw over, just a bit too far to the right there for Edmonds to wheel over and make the tag, but good tag up there for Oskaloosa. Highly anticipated first pitch as well. There's about three throwovers before the first.
Now this one swung. Left center field. It'll drop down for a base hit, and that's going to score the first run for the Indians as Ashman gets around from second to home on the single.
Yeah, nice solid contact there, just driving it
Now batting first baseman number
there
11,
into left center.
Linus Morrison.
Really good start for Oskaloosa, and now you have a guy in Linus Morrison who's been a good hitter for them this year coming up.
Not just a good hitter, but also a good pitcher. I mean, he has been phenomenal. He pitched 6 innings last night, so not going to be available today, that's for sure. But, I mean, he's got an ERA under 2, and just looking to put it together out there at the plate, just like the rest of this Indian team. There goes the runner, Jake North, diving head first in the second safely as the ball gets away from Richardson.
Yeah, and then Hodon North as he tags up. He's leads this team in OPS and batting average, playing short on defense, but Jake North is maybe the best hitter on this Oskaloosa team, so doing exactly what he has been doing all year long.
So no 1 count here to Morrison. Sklowski comes home. Goes breaking ball. Called strike. 0-2. Sklowski now in the best spot he's been in to start the day. Here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss. I'll have to throw it on the first to secure it. That gets the out. But the runner, Jake North, will advance to third on the throwdown.
Good heads-up play there by Easton Rugg. There was some shouts from the Oskaloosa dugout to run that throw out, and that almost alerted Rugg to it. He said, let me take care of business real quick, and made the calm throw over. A lot easier than the pickoffs he's had to attempt on those 2 stolen bases for Oskaloosa.
Yeah, and it's tough for both the catcher and the batter for different reasons on a drop third strike. If you're the catcher, you're relaxed. You're like, okay, we got the strikeout. Like, there we go. But you actually have some more work to do. Here's a hard drive down the left field line, but foul. And then if you're the batter, you're upset with yourself because you struck out. But, hey, guess what? You have a chance to run down the first and get there safely.
Yeah, and, with some of the fielding errors we saw at times against Keokuk for Washington, those Oskaloosa runners will have to be aware of that. Sometimes those throws can be a little wayward, or, the tag can be missed. It's those little things that Washington is looking to continue to try and clean up here this season, but Oskaloosa can use that as a chance to take advantage of it.
And this is a hit by pitch, but it looks like Tyler Edgar leaned in there, and the umpire saw the same thing I did, so that'll be a called strike.
Might have more sympathy for the batter, Joel, but I don't know if I saw what you did, and there were some shouts from the dugout, or the Oskaloosa dugout again there, that he should be able to take his base, but he wore that one well.
Yeah, it's tough. You don't know if the guy's loading up, getting ready to swing, or if he is leaning in, and the umpire made the decision there. He leaned in. Discussing with the Indian coach right now for the reason why. But we're back into action here. A 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, swung on. Driven to left field. Underneath it is Leiden. Richardson gave it a big chase. Here comes the throw home. There's going to be a play, but just not in time. Jake North scoring, tagging up from third. It's 2-0 Indians.
Yeah, just not enough zip on that throw out of left from Connor Leiden, but exactly what you wanted that time. If you're Tyler Edgar, just lofted and left, get your chance, give your guy a chance to score. Would have maybe wanted to hit it a little more, essentially make that throw even more difficult, but I think it was hitting to deep enough left You saw Leiden just couldn't get quite enough underneath it, and Rugg had to come up, was well ahead of home plate, no chance for a tag.
So with that second out, the bases are now empty. First pitch missed for a ball. Trey Parks up to bat. He'll be pitching for the Indians. So, I mean, if he's the third out here, he's got a busy middle of the inning. He's got to go back to the dugout, grab his glove and hat, and then get back out there onto the mound and get ready to pitch.
Something tells me Trey Parks and a lot of this Oskaloosa pitching staff is used to that double duty and doesn't seem to affect their pitching based on their production so far this year. But you're right. It's obviously helped, or would be nice for him to get on base and have a little bit more time to rest maybe before he has to go take the mound for his first look at the Washington batters.
A 1-1 pitch here, way up high, 2-1.
Yeah, Zagowski's just floated a couple of those. Has to get a couple more down in the zone, but also have the same command that he wants to have when those pitches kind of get away from him, because Oskaloosa's been able to make good contact so far.
Ball up high there too, 3-1. We have seen a lot of those balls up high today. Just got to make the adjustment here after the first inning, but you know, he's striving for perfection, especially facing a guy like Trey Parks, who even though he's the quote-unquote number 3 pitcher for the Indians, he is phenomenal. Here's a ground ball to the left side, picked up by third baseman over there in time. Parsons to Biebler for out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first, 2-0 Indians on top.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Kyoto my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation, Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Back here at the Dick Stoica Memorial Field, the Indians go up 2-0 to lead off the ball game, and now the Demons will get their opportunity up to bat, though they've got a tough task. Oskaloosa sending out the Trey Parks out there, but this batting order can do it. Nate Edmonds, Mitchell Zagowski, Blaze Richardson, Bowden Brown, Connor Leiden, Julian Parsons, Easton Rugg, Ethan Biebler, and Luke Schiebel for the order. And we saw a couple great games out there for them yesterday. And then the starting lineup for the Indians. Parks out there on the mound. You got Cool, DeRond, Edgar in the outfield, Peterson, North Ashman, and Morrison around the horn. And behind the plate will be Griffin Snitker. He will be designated hit for by Johnson. But the focus begins here on Nate Edmonds, who had a phenomenal game, a couple of games yesterday. I mean, he hardly got out. He was on base almost any time he got up to bat.
Yeah, it was one of the most interesting stat lines I think I've ever seen from a doubleheader. He had 6 walks, got on base on 3 errors as well. Didn't get a hit to his name, but was just constantly getting on base, and then had 4 combined steals as well in that doubleheader. So he is someone that has been productive as this leadoff hitter for Washington and gets himself into scoring position with his base running.
He takes the first 2 pitches. First one called for a strike, second one a ball. So the count's even. He's looking to get things started here early for Washington, just like Oskaloosa did. This pitch outside, 2-1.
Yeah, Washington has been a productive base running team. I'll touch on it more if they can get a runner on here, but what a start this could potentially be to have one early when you've got a talented pitcher in Trey Parks.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the key to this Demon offense is just to get the runners on and then let them cause havoc out there. And there's that first runner. A walk. Only seeing one strike to start off the ball game.
Pitcher number 3.
Mitchell Zagłowski will be up to bat. Just saw him on the mound, but now he's got a tall task here trying to get this offense ignited.
You know, you talk about players having a sort of gravity to them, right? I think Nate Edmonds might have maybe anti-gravity in terms of his strike zone, kind of pushing balls high and low. And Parks looked a little bit all over the place on that first at-bat.
Yeah, he just seems to be a tough kid to throw strikes to. A hit and run right there, but it'll be fouled away, so Edmonds will have to go back to first, and the count will be 0-1 to Zagłowski.
And this is a Washington team that has now jumped up to top 15 in all of Class 3 in stolen bases. They use their opportunities to run frequently, and that has helped make up for some, at times, spotty hitting, but they make up for it with some just good base running, some smart play. They took full advantage of that against Keokuk, went 9 for 9 on stolen bases in that game. I thought that proved to be such a huge difference, especially with the way Keokuk was playing fairly poorly in the field.
Yeah, it really did, and they did this thing with men on the corners. They'd send the runner to second, and if they throw down to try and get the runner at second, they'll send the runner home from third, and it worked for them twice in those games last night.
I'd like to see them stay aggressive against a team like Oskaloosa. I know a team that's much more consistent in the field with how they play, but I would think test them, especially you're down 2-0 early.
Fouled away. An 0-2 count to Zagłowski. No, the 2-run deficit before you even get your batters up is definitely a tough one to eat, but I mean, we saw it yesterday. This Demon team, they are capable of scoring runs if they can just get hot throughout the lineup. The 0-2 way up high. That'll bounce off the glove. There goes Edmonds to second, in there safely and easily. Passed ball there. Griffin Snitker just popped it out of his glove.
Yeah, and that's certainly a good sign if you're Washington. Any pass balls, the Demons are going to run no matter who it is. Brought in a couple of pinch runners last game as well that helped do some damage against Keokuk. Zach Hotchkiss, will probably see him, just an 8th grader, had a couple of stolen bases coming into pinch run.
The 1-2 pitch. Oh, he'll check over at second instead. Edmonds back safely. No throw will happen.
And the danger of Jordan Edmonds, you can see him sort of creeping up with that lead. Really daring Parks to throw it back there.
This one fouled down the left field line.
I like the technique from Edmonds, too. He leads off and then creeps sort of closer to that infield grass. Still obviously has to, keep in the base paths when he does run, but he sort of creeps up to him. It's kind of like taunting Parks almost. And
well, it messes with the pitcher's depth perception.
Yep.
If you lead off back behind second place, they think you're a little closer than you actually are. The 1-2, that'll hit Zagłowski. And so 2 runners aboard to start off this ball game for the Demons, and it's much like it was last night for Washington, where they got a lot of free passes. In fact, they scored 12 runs in game 2, but they only had the 4 hits.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you're Coach Allman for Oskaloosa, is putting those first 2 batters on base, and like you said, those unforced errors. I mean, that absolutely killed Keokuk in those doubleheaders, and it can lead to blowouts, obviously, but against a team that's a little bit more talented, it can be the kind of fine margin in a close game. I mean, this is an Oskaloosa team looking to rebound from 5 straight losses momentum's not exactly on their side. And if Washington senses any blood in the water, they're going to try and take advantage. And Oskaloosa can't give them that sort of runway. And they have one here now with 2 on and just 1 out.
Runners on first and second, and Blaze Richardson trying to lay down a bunt there. He'll pull it back, called strike. You saw Morrison, the first baseman for the Indians, sprinting towards the plate. They're going to try and nab that lead runner if a bunt is laid down. Here comes the 0-1 from Parks, swinging away right up the middle. Kicks the glove off of Parks, and that'll be an infield single for Blaze Richardson. How often do you see that? A ball right up the middle, knocking the glove off the pitcher.
Yeah, just hitting the exact sweet spot there if you're Blaze Richardson. Knocked the glove right off of his hand in no play. And make no mistake either, that was a hard hit ball. Obviously, if Richardson's glove hadn't slowed it down, that could have trickled toward the outfield. And it's even more unfortunate for Oskaloosa. It was trickling toward second. You know, you have the shortstop over there, maybe the second baseman able to get to it. Instead, in a weird circumstance, it's the bases loaded with Bowden Brown, a player who has greatly improved in almost every batting category this season up at bat.
Yeah, this is a guy who has worked his way through the order, now in the all-important cleanup spot for, I mean, this is the reason why it's so important. You got bases loaded now, and he's got to be the one to come up with a big hit. Swings away there, pops it up foul, in foul ball territory. Morrison chasing it and makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
Exactly what you wanted there for Oskaloosa. Bowden Brown was definitely praying that one would carry over into the dugout area. Instead, you don't have to ground or fly into, you don't have to sacrifice fly and play, you don't ground into a fielder's choice. Just pick up the second out of the inning, and now you're in a somewhat more of a comfortable position, as much as you can be with the bases loaded, of course.
They get Connor Lydon to pop one up foul. This one staying in play, chasing after this Snitker, but he will not be able to make the catch. A tough one, dropping down to the ground, and you know, it's raining, not heavily, but it's big raindrops. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's definitely trying to search through the raindrops, trying to not have any hit his eye on while he tracks that ball.
Yeah, I don't think you can necessarily blame him there. It's going to be tough to track in this. Like I said, it's sort of a weird rain. It's not coming down super heavily, which is good for the course of the game, but yeah, those big droplets can be an issue for catchers.
There's a ball over the head of the catcher, and coming in is Nate Edmonds for the first run of the ball game for the Demons. So already scratched into that Indian lead here in the first inning. Both runners will advance. So there's runners on second and third off the wild pitch, and it's 2-1. Connor Lydon can give this team the lead here with a base hit.
Yeah, and Connor Lydon, another guy similar to Brown, leading this team in batting average, OPS, hits.
There's a deep drive, left center field. Giving it chase is the center fielder, Durand. He'll make the catch. The relay throw in won't be in time. Both runners are safe, including Zaglowski, who comes across to score.
Absolutely perfect for Connor Lydon. Driven high and deep, no chance for a throw over to third, scoring the run on the sacrifice fly. This is really well done by the Washington Bats, but you have to go back to that first round as well. Another unforced error for Oskaloosa. We saw it affect Keokuk so many times. You have to think, if you're Oskaloosa, they're going to regroup in the dugout here, but they'll be disappointed to already have this 2-0 deficit erased.
Here's a high flyer back into center field. Durand makes the play there, and he'll be out number 3. So we'll end the first inning. It's still tied, but instead of a 0-0 ball game, it's 2-2 as we head to the second.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Well, it's been a fun one already. The Indians jumped on the Demons at the top of the first, got 2 runs across, and the Demons answered right away, scoring another 2 in the bottom. So we're tied up at 2, and we got Caden Johnson up to bat for the Indians. He's the designated hitter. We saw some solid pitching from Zaglowski last inning. He gave up a walk and a single to start off the inning, but then got 3 consecutive outs, one of them being a sac fly, which brought home the second runner. But he has turned it around after a tough first 2 batters.
Yeah, and the story of that bottom of the first inning, unforced errors again for Oskaloosa to start this game. They'll have to clean things up defensively, but you're right. I thought Zaglowski did a little bit better job with his command as he doesn't there, but did a good job getting himself back in the inning and not letting anything spiral. We've seen that happen before for some of these Washington pitchers.
So the hit by pitch to Johnson puts him on first base, and now Tate Peterson up to bat. Both innings, the leadoff runner able to reach for the Indians. We'll see if they can replicate what they did last inning. Here comes the pitch, swung on, fouled away for strike 1. It looks like the rain will stick around for the first hour and a half to 2 hours, and then it'll be clear skies for the JV game after this, which, funny enough, got flipped around. Here's a throw down the first over the head of Peebler, and it'll roll into right field, and that'll be enough to advance the runner, Caden Johnson, to second.
Oh, and there's an unforced error for Washington that time. It's those throwdowns, talked about it at the top of the first, have to be on time and complete. We've seen a couple of throwovers from Zaglowski on the mound as well. You can't let that first error get into your head and let it kind of compound, or that could quickly become the story of the game defensively for Washington.
So 1-1 count to Peterson. Here comes the pitch, swung on, fouled away.
Peterson leads this Oskaloosa team, 11 RBI on the season. Got a sacrifice fly. One of the, only 3 sacrifice flies all year for this Oskaloosa order. But Peterson does have 1. He's a capable bat in terms of driving a run in.
Prime RBI opportunity right here with that runner now on second. And no outs. Zaglowski comes home, throws it out, down and away. Evens up the count, 2-2. But funny enough, this game got moved up to 5:30 from 7:30 with the JV game.
It's a life lesson, Joel. Mother Nature, always one step ahead.
Always.
Do not question Mother Nature.
A high fly ball to right field. Connor Leiden, or left field, Connor Leiden picks it up for the out. First out of the inning. The runner will not be able to advance. Shallow enough out there in left field.
Number 13, Jaden DeRonde.
Jaden DeRonde now up to bat. Had a couple of good plays out there in center field. He was really busy to start off this ball game, and it's the rain does make it a little harder to track down those balls out there in the outfield.
Durande, another elite arm on the mound as well for this Oskaloosa team. Actually pitched a win against Washington in 2023. Oskaloosa won a thriller 7-5. Maybe we'll be on our way to a similar close game here today, but 3 innings managed to get the win for Oskaloosa in that game. Give up 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. Not on the mound tonight, but it's always fun looking back at some of the history. These two teams will have players with familiarity to one another.
Yeah, Durande pitched in that first game of the series against Indianola last night. Here's a fly ball to left field. Picked up by Leiden. And a quick 2 outs.
And Connor Leiden, these fly balls in the rain's going to be slick. It's going to be slick. It's going to be hard to see. We obviously saw that with the catcher for Oskaloosa in the last inning. And Leiden's done a good job as well. Will obviously be kicking himself a little bit for not getting that throw back to home in time to have a play on it when Oskaloosa scored their second run. But he's made a couple of good catches in left. Not easy when those balls are, not quite floated like a true pop fly. A little bit more line to him. He's been composed there in left field.
Ground ball left side picked up by Parsons. Throw over in the dirt. Pulls Peebler off the bag, and it'll be safe at first. So an error on Parsons will get Oskaloosa back to the top of the order with men on the corners.
I do wonder with that slick baseball if that maybe came out of Parsons' hand just not quite the way he wanted to. You saw it kind of bounce in the dirt to the left of the bag. That suggests to me maybe it slipped out a little bit on its way over, because otherwise Parsons has been fairly sure-handed over there at third in this game.
So Grady Cool on first, and Caden Johnson on third, 2 away. Zagłowski looking in on Maddox Ashman. First pitch to him, called strike, throw down, not in time, bounces out of the glove of Richardson, but the runner on third won't go. So runners on second and third now with 2 away.
Yeah, and a good strikeout there for Zagłowski. Now you can just focus on getting the batter out. You don't have to even really think about second and third. Just either get another strikeout, it'd obviously be the most ideal, but just, induce some weak contact, get the quick out at first, get out of this inning.
The 0-1 swing and a miss there. 0-2 now, and now he's in that perfect spot to get that third out. All he needs is an out here. Get the force out at first, or strikeout, or fly out. Guarantee the runner not able to score. Here's a pitch. Just missing on the outside. We'll have to throw another one this inning at least. 1-2 count. The pitch to him. Swung on and fouled away. Ashman sticking in there.
Yeah, good work by Ashman to stick it in, but doesn't have too much of a read on Zagłowski yet. That one seemed like a slight hesitation there in Maddox's swing. But Ashman a good batter as well. Does lead this team in walks, so can make good reads on it if Zagłowski gives him bad pitches.
Just catches a piece of it. Fouls it away, so we'll have to redo it at 1-2. Good protective swing there. Is on the outside part of the plate. Wasn't close enough for him to barrel it up, but able to just tap it foul to stay alive. 1-2. Here it comes in the dirt. Goes curveball. Evens the count up 2-2.
Yeah, just way too much break on that one. Was in the dirt all the way there for Ashman. But I've been surprised for leading this team in walks and being able to get out. As we're pointing out, it is 2-2, Joel, with 2 outs at the top of the second and a 2-2 count.
Well, the deuces are wild.
And with 2 aboard.
That one misses 3-2.
These are the kind of observations you listen to the Southeast Iowa Video Network. I will have to shout out our great producer, Peter, who is sitting next to us, also braving the elements. Now it's 3-2, so not as fun, but
still a lot of twos out there.
A lot of twos out there.
Number 2 for the Indians on deck as well. Swing and a miss there. So he won't be up to bat, but as Ashman goes down swinging, Ziglowski keeps the Indians off the board here in the second, and we'll head to the bottom of the second, tied at 2.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Back here for the bottom of the second, the rain's starting to come down a little heavier now. Just hoping the lightning stays away. But the Demons looking for some lightning on the bases here. You got Easton Rugg, Ethan Peebler, and Luke Schiebel all due up, and that's some speed out there for sure. We saw Peebler leg out a triple yesterday. Schiebel also has a triple on for his name this season, and Rugg has some speed, even though he's a catcher. Usually you think the catcher's a little slower, but no, Rugg's got some explosiveness.
Yeah, end of the order. You know, if they're not the best power hitters and, you know, even relatively somewhat inconsistent at times at even getting on base when they do, again, that Washington speed can be really effective, but
loud contact over to second, the throw over in time. Ashman with a good play there, just sat on it, waited it.
This worked out. This will be a massive test for the infields of both teams with the rain. Kind of coming down a lot more steady now.
So the first out of the inning coming there, and now Ethan Peebler will be up. Every time that ball hits the grass, like you said, it's going to be tough for the infield because it'll get even more wet than it already is.
And you know what, I should take back slightly. You know, this end of the order did have some good moments against Keokuk Peebler. Maybe the highlight for the Washington bats with that triple.
Here's a ground ball to Ashman over at second. Feels it cleanly. Throw over just in time for out number 2.
Back-to-back outs there to second. There for Trey at the pitcher. On the pitcher's mound will be a nice sight for him after a few mistakes to start Washington's first, and that is what Oskaloosa can do. You know, this is a team that was an uncharacteristic inning for them to start the game, frankly, at the mound and in the field. And, you know, as trends would show, they're going to shape up quickly. It looks like they have here so far.
That pitch missing for a ball to Schiebel. Schiebel walked twice in game 2 of yesterday's game and got hit by a pitch. And in game 1, he also got hit by a pitch and then got on by an error. So he hasn't seen a lot of strikes in the past 24 hours and has a 2-0 count here to start. So he's just waiting for something to hit. That one missing down low as well.
Yeah, I tried to get the break there. Just couldn't quite break in the zone, but that was a good pitch that time.
3-0. Called strike at the bottom of the zone. Looked pretty similar to the last pitch, just enough up to get the call.
Yeah, I made enough of an adjustment that time. It was a excellent pitch. Down and away. Going to be really difficult to hit if he can keep hitting that spot consistently.
Now he'll swing away here and miss. It'll be 3-2. a really good bounce back for Trey Parks, who's looking to get out of this inning with a clean one.
He has Scheibel completely guessing right now. That fastball just right down the middle after 2 off-speed pitches.
And that ball down low, Scheibel will reach. Good base on balls there.
Second baseman number 2.
Strong
Nate Edmonds
at bat, and that brings up the top of the order.
Well, and after having him guessing, kind of lost command of that last pitch and full count. Thought Scheibel would maybe get a pitch he could hit there. Seemed to swing right through that fastball. I thought Parks might go back to that, but tried to get the breaking ball again, and that one was even worse than ball number 3.
Edmonds walked to lead off the game. There goes Scheibel over to second. No throw will come. So free stolen base there for Scheibel.
There's that speed, and here's another test as well of the Nate Edmonds anti-gravity theory. That one, again, well away, and for Parks, just has to get a little bit more command of that breaking ball. You saw just at that last at-bat how effective it can be when it drops low and right in the middle of that strike zone.
The 1-0 down low, 2-0.
I wonder if the rain's playing a factor into that as well.
Yeah, you see him ask for a new ball now.
Yep.
Unfortunately, this isn't quite the major leagues where you have an unlimited amount of balls. So you can't just keep on throwing them out.
And I wonder how that's going to change the strategy for Parks, too. That last fastball to Scheibel he threw looked effective. So if he can get that dialed in, that might be a more effective pitch here in these conditions.
Bounces back there with the new ball, throws a strike. A swing and a miss.
That one hit the middle and just painted that left side of the zone right on the edge.
Checks over at second. Couple times now. Now focuses on home. Here's the pitch. Down low, 3-1 count.
And well away there on that breaking ball. And again, Edmonds just drawing advantageous counts over and over again, up 3-1 here. Almost gets to a point. I'm sure he likes getting on base, but he probably wants a pitch he can hit at some point.
After a quick first 2 outs, he's battled his way through these last couple at bats. A swing and a miss there. Pops out a glove of Snicker. Throw over to third, not in time though.
Yeah, good recovery by Snitker as that, like you said, popped out of his glove. That's the second time today that's happened. Catchers aren't immune from the weather either. But Washington continuing to take advantage with their base runners, and big payoff pitch here for Edmonds.
Here's the full count pitch inside for a ball.
Next up for the Demons, pitcher
Edmond takes first base. Men on the corners now for Ziglowski.
Is it too much to suggest death taxes and Nate Edmonds either reaching on an error or walking?
You know, it certainly seems that way.
Almost at that point.
Quick meeting out there on the mound as this rain gets heavier.
I do have to respect Coach William Allman for Oskaloosa. Could just, stay in his dugout and a little bit more shielded, but putting the team first. He trots out there in the rain to settle Trey Parks here. It's just been some uncharacteristic pitches from him. He's tried to get that breaking ball to go. He was successful a couple times when pitching to Luke Scheibel, but has dropped a couple in the dirt. Hasn't helped his catcher out a little bit with some ones low, and I'm sure he's telling Parks, just stay locked in. You're dealing with weird elements right now, but don't give Washington the opportunity to score on unforced errors.
Well, there's now thunder, so it looks like we're going to head to a rain delay. See the Demons sprinting across the field.
A lot more sense of urgency getting off than the Oskaloosa outfielders.
They're going over, I assume, to their hitting facility out there outside the right field fence. So we will take a quick break, and we will be back soon, hopefully, to update you on the rain delay, and hopefully we can still fit this one in. But 2-2 as we head to break in the middle of the bottom of the second. So the tarps are on the ballpark, and we are headed to a rain delay, so we will be ending this stream, and hopefully we can come back with a new stream here soon as you see us battling the elements. It's coming down heavy now, so stay tuned. Keep an eye out for hopefully a new stream with the back half of this ball game.